Okay, so I'm packing for my trip to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Want to give you guys a quick little look into my bags on how I have everything packed. So I've been hired to capture interviews for a conference at the Museum of the Bible. We have a green room and we're going to set up like a formal interview set. So that's what we have in these two cases. I have lighting, audio, two cameras, tripods, all that. So, starting with this case, this is the case that I have for cameras and lighting. So I have two Sony FS5s, lenses, all the accessories, some power, handlebar. Then I also have this little Rode mic. And then this side is more lighting. I have a Molus, I think this is the G300. So that is living there. The ballast, two light dishes. Then in this case, I have a Zhiyun B500. And I put it in this case to kind of keep it a little bit protected. So kind of crazy, but this is usually for a smaller Pelican case, but it fits in this case. There's just a bunch of empty room here. So then I always use this space for clothing or whatever on a Pelican 16-15 Air. But in this case, I have an air tube. Actually, this is like the grid. And then I have the B500 here, which is a little bit overkill, the B500. I probably will look for something a little bit comparable to this size here for next time. And then these are the light bank air tubes that will work with the Bowen's mount. So my modifiers in here. So it kind of packs in like this. So this one's good to go. Then in this case here, I'm actually going to look for the foam that goes on top here because I don't want all the stuff like moving around a ton. I might put in clothing, I don't know, maybe. I have a bunch of these little portable stands. I have one more like Matthews, it's a little bit beefier of a stand. I'll probably use that for key light. One of these for backlight, and boom. Then I have a portable tripod here, just a little Manfrotto. I have a couple little stingers, accessories like that. And I mostly use the cheaper, just conventional power, not like an actual stinger, the 15 gauge or whatever. Those are like really heavy. These are super lightweight for travel. And then this guy obviously just for travel. I have another tripod in here, and then this is like my audio solution case. I have T-Mark XLR, shotgun mic or condenser mic, then the little boom pole holder. Then I have a couple other little audio accessories in this case here. And I usually put everything in here, and then I'll throw an air tag as well, so that way I can track my luggage, assuming they don't take this out. And then I have a boom pole here. So that's kind of it for this case. I might throw in clothes just to kind of pad it a little bit. So essentially I can do everything I need to do with these two Pelican cases. This isn't a Pelican case actually. This is a Storm case. I don't know. I've had it for a while. I don't even know what kind of case it is, but I would like to get a few more of these Pelican Air cases because these are way lighter than this. This guy's super heavy, even with nothing in it. I want to say it weighs at least, I don't want to say double, but it's a lot heavier when it's empty than that one. So ideally I'd want to get another Pelican Air, and just those are my two travel cases. But I'm just utilizing this one for now. It'll do the trick. But yeah, I'm also bringing my backpack. I always just bring a backpack that can come with me on the flight. So this will have my A7 Mark IV with a 35 to 150. I have a bunch of media, Rode wireless goes, a couple other lens choices. This might be good for like B-roll at the conference or something like that. Of course, the batteries for the Sony FS5s in case we don't have power and we have to be a little bit more mobile. Some more lenses, MC11, just little little things that I might need. I'll have it in my backpack, as well as a laptop to do DIT and hard drives and that sort of thing. So with all of these cases, this is enough to get me through this shoot. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. Also, if you don't have a luggage scale, I would recommend getting one. This one was like 15 bucks and it weighs up to 110 pounds. And this just makes it easy to just quickly check the weight of your bag. I'll literally just put this in my carry-on so that way I know. So right now it's at 0. You can lift it up by the handle, 45 pounds. So I know I'm under the 50-pound weight with this little luggage scale. And I'll do the same with that bag there, making sure it's under 50. Because there's nothing worse than being at ticketing and you're like 2 pounds over and they're making you take something out. That's such a hassle. You know, I do have a media credential, so I can technically take a bag that weighs more than 50 pounds and not get charged for it. But that's a little bit of a hassle as well. You typically have to call over a manager, and you know, every airport is a little bit different. So it's just, if I don't have to do it, I won't do it. But obviously if I had like 6 bags and 3 of them are overweight, then I know I have to be at the airport a little bit earlier to account for having to go through that whole process, as opposed to I can like literally go in and check these 2 bags as just normal checked bags under 50 pounds. They don't have to call over a manager, and it's going to be easy. So yeah, this thing is great. Just being able to check the weight of your bag quickly. All right, so made it to the airport. Got all the bags weighed and packed and ready to go. So just got to get over to check in at ticketing, and then should be good. So just to give a little context to what you're about to see, I got extremely nervous about this shoot tomorrow. I knew very little going into it. I knew the basics. We're going to be doing interviews with keynote speakers for this conference in Washington, D.C. We're going to have a green room, 2 cameras. I knew very little going into it. So the director, once he landed, he gave me a call and he wanted to go over what we were going to be doing tomorrow, just all the little details. And I got extremely nervous because he started listing off the people that we were going to be filming, and I just had no idea we were going to be filming with some of these types of people, high profile clients, people that I thought I would never be in the same room with, sort of thing. And I got really nervous because I brought some new lighting that I have never used before, and potentially I kept thinking like, wait, what did I just do? Like, I should have just brought some Astras, just kept it very, standard. This is not a shoot to experiment with, sort of thing. So I literally started freaking out and wanted to just set everything up and make sure, like, okay, is this actually going to work? Or do I need to figure something else out, like, ASAP? Being in a big city, I'm sure I could rent a few things if I really had to fairly quickly. So that's why you're seeing this next series of clips. I don't typically do this before a shoot. I just happen to be very nervous. And you can't really tell in the clip that you're about to see, but this is just me reflecting back on why would I set up a little thing in a hotel room. Like, I've done shoots like this 1,000 times before, but I definitely got a lot of imposter syndrome for sure in this shoot. So yeah. So I made it to my hotel room, and I decided just to quickly, since I had all the gear with me, just to quickly set it up and test out these new tube lights, air bank modifiers that I'm using. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed, especially in like a small space like this, 300 square feet. Being able to get a nice key light is always a hassle, especially with windows in the back like that. It's hard to avoid those. And then, so not only do I have a key light, and then I have a nice hair light over here as well. And obviously the practical is blown out. I don't have any MC11 bulbs or anything like that. But if I had to set up a quick interview in like a hotel room, like these lights would work really well. And honestly, this one's at 1%, this backlight. That one's at like maybe 4%. So it's like not a whole lot of output. You know, obviously during the day, if we're trying to see out the window, then you might need a little bit more of an output. But right now it's, you know, these lights are very dim. But yeah, I'm just making sure all the equipment is working and nothing was damaged. That's always the fear showing up to a shoot after being on a flight and traveling and checking in your gear that something's going to be broken. So I thought I would probably sleep a little bit better if I just got out the essentials and made sure everything was fine, and it is. Nothing was damaged or anything like that. So I can go into my shoot tomorrow knowing that, you know, I don't have to troubleshoot anything. But yeah, let me give you guys a little tour of the room and what it looks like on the other side. I'm pretty impressed with these guys, and Lightbank did not send me these. I purchased these with my own money. So I would tell you if they were terrible. Right now, the only thing I do not like about them is, I don't know if you can see it, let me try and dim this down, is there is a hot spot here, obviously, and as it goes through, it lessens quite a bit, but it's not terrible. I think it's actually nice for a key light because it's a subtle wrap. So if I'm sitting here, you got bright, and then as it gets closer to the camera, it has a nice little fall off. So you can wrap the light a little bit more, and I think it's pretty pleasing. But for, you know, if you needed a full even spread, like if you're doing like a top down and you're lighting like a table and there were multiple people, then I could see this potentially being a little bit of an issue, but it's not noticeable. Obviously I have my light, my phone camera dialed all the way down, but that's potentially the only thing I could see as a negative with these lights, besides having to blow them up every time. But yeah, I think these are great. You don't need super heavy duty stands because it's just air, so it doesn't really weigh a lot. Most of the weight is just from the head itself. And honestly, these lights are way overkill for this. I would probably just want another one of these for this. I think this is a great combo, or even something, maybe I could use this as the key light because it's only at 1%, and then get something even smaller than that, and that can be my hair light. So key light would be over there, hair light over here. That would be a pretty good setup. This is just all I had. I didn't want to bring a Aperture 600X because it just takes up too much room, so I brought that guy instead. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So the first day was a little bit of a bust. I can't show any of that footage. I couldn't even get any behind the scenes or anything like that on my phone. So just with the type of people we were working with, there were PR people there and everything, so it was very locked down and I wasn't able to film anything. But I can show you some footage from the second day that we were able to capture, and honestly I feel like this location looked way better than the first day. Just the first day we had to be contained to a room. Second day we were able to move around a little bit more, and I actually like these shots way better. So a little bit of a bust. I wish we could have filmed out here the whole time. I think it just looks great. So these light bank modifiers are quickly becoming some of my favorites to use. Just because of the way they're built, they're essentially utilizing more of like a boom arm type of thing. So you have your stand, and then you can boom the light pretty much wherever you need to. And honestly, where we were set up, and I needed to have the key light the same side as the window light. If I was using like a 6x or a big softbox, I couldn't get the key light where I needed it to be. There just wasn't enough space. But with these light bank modifiers, I was able to get the key light exactly where I needed it so that it made sense. You know, it looked natural, the light coming through the window, that sort of thing. So I can't say enough good things about these modifiers, and I would absolutely recommend them for anyone who's looking for like a quick, easy, portable setup. And it just happens to be that they're great for travel as well. So really great stuff. So the modifiers are rated for around 300 watts, and the key light that I was using was 500 watts. So I did not want to run the light at 100%. I didn't want to risk melting the modifier or anything like that. So I had the B500 set to about 60% just to be safe. I probably could have ran it a little bit more, but I just wanted to be safe on this one. So I had it set to about 60, and it did a fairly decent job in exposing the Capitol in the background there. I wish I would have had a tiny bit more light, but honestly, I think it turned out fine. So as I was filming throughout the day, someone from the live production came over and introduced me to a product of his that he had started, and it's a company called Hang Tight Straps. And honestly, these things are amazing, and I'm looking forward to sharing more information about them in a future video, but definitely stay tuned for that because these straps are really awesome, and I'm looking forward to using them more. But yeah, this was a fun, quick shoot to DC. I had never been before, so it was fun. I got to sightsee a little bit throughout the day, and yeah, this was a cool shoot to be a part of. The Museum of the Bible is amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to coming back and really getting to explore the whole facility. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Like always, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.